Hello, welcome once again to Blackpool for more great action coming your way from the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championship. We're at the semi-final stage. The defending champion, Gareth Potts, is safely through to the final, but only just. Keith Brewer's with me here in the studio. Keith, we had such a terrific first semi-final. Can this second one that's coming up in a moment possibly be as good?
Well, if you want me to be honest, I would probably say no, but let's hope that it's anywhere near as good, because the first semi-final was certainly one of the best matches I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, we have to say, don't we, that Gareth was pushed all the way by Adam Davis, and it really was a terrific performance by both players, very high quality.
It was, yes. Adam would give Gareth a good fight. Of course, Gareth's the defending champion, really going for his third title, as, of course, is Jason Twist in this match.
Right, and the match that we're about to see, what do you think about Jason? Because Jason, who's up against Gareth Hibbott, what sort of match are you expecting there? Because Jason, of course, two-times former world champion, going possibly for a third win at this event, which hasn't been done before, against Gareth, who maybe hasn't got the experience at that level.
Yeah, I think we realise that Gareth hasn't really got the experience. We know that all the pedigree is with Jason. But for sure, Gareth's going to give it 100%. He's got nothing to lose at this stage. I think he's quite, surprised probably to be here. So he's going to just go out there and give it his best shot.
We got another hectic crowd. It's a busy night here in Blackpool. Let's right now go to the action and join our MC, Scott Gallagher.
It is second semi-final time down here in Blackpool, ladies and gents. Who will go through to face Gareth Potts in the final? Let's find out. Please welcome to the arena floor, Jason Twist and Gareth Hibbott.
Our second semi-final, a battle between experience in the number 3 seed and a man on a mission, Gareth Hibbott. The lag, it's a race to 10, best of 19. The red represents Twist, the yellow Hibbott, and it's going to be Gareth Hibbott to break the first frame to kick things off here in Blackpool. And very happy to be joined in the commentary box by our main man here in Blackpool for 8-Ball Pool, Sean Baker. Welcome, Sean. Well, we know that Gareth Potts waits in the wings. What we don't know is who he's going to be opposing in the final.
No, it's going to be a very interesting match, this, Jim. Gareth Hibbott, the unseeded player, a little bit of an unknown maybe to a lot of our viewers, against the two-time champion, Jason Twist.
Gareth Hibbott to break.
For me, stark similarities, though, in both players' paths through to the semi-final. Both 9-8 winners. Jason Twist over Carl Morris and Gareth Hibbott over Lee Kendall. Gareth Hibbott breaks frame number 1. The ball down immediately. And also similar in that I think both Gareth and Jason thought they were out of this event.
Yeah, quite right. Lee Kendall led by a long way in his quarter-final, against Gareth Hibbott. And he should really have taken that match out. And say Gareth at one point was sat in his chair thinking, well, I've played my last shot. And he didn't. He managed to get back into that game. And as you say, the same thing with Jason Twist with Carl Morris. It looked like he'd played his last shot. And Carl gave him one extra chance, which he took to book his place in this semi-final. Look at the cue ball.
Early days and an early sign of nerves from Gareth Hibbott. The one advantage, the big advantage held by Jason Twist, he's been here many times. Two-time champion, no stranger to the semi-final stage of the World 8-Ball Pool Championships, and he wants to take advantage of this miscue already from Gareth Hibbott.
Yeah, as you say, Jason Twist, the experienced player, he's been in the semi-final or better 6 times, and he's contested 4 world finals, winning 2 and losing 2. He's not been the champion since 2002, so it's been a long wait for Jason to get another opportunity to secure that 3rd title that nobody's ever got.
Both similar styles, too. Take the aggressive option when it is available, but he just overscrewed this. You can see that cue ball just traveling a little further than Jason would have liked. He's still got 2 visits, remember. So he may have to waste, well, he will have to waste one right here. But the yellows
50 seconds.
all in makeable positions. Just got to be careful not to foul. He's very close to that yellow. Develops everything. Now every chance for Jason. He's not happy because he's bumped a red near that corner and it's covering the pocket for the yellow below the black. And this really born of the miss in positional attempt earlier on. And trying to develop that yellow, and now Jason is in a spot of bother. Didn't take long for that to happen either, did it, Sean?
No, it looks there on the overhead. He might just have this yellow to the left of the black into the centre pocket. Extremely difficult shot, and very tight, as we see.
Now, just a window for this yellow.
He's had a little bit of good fortune though. I think possibly covered that red. It will go bottom left, obviously, if he was to clear the path for that, Gareth, but just a little bit edgy, both players here, in these opening few shots of this first frame.
Yeah, and to be expected, really. It doesn't matter how many times you've been to the World Championship semifinals, it's never the same. The experience puts you in good stead, but if you're not nervous, you're not human. Mind you, that goes hand in hand with another saying, Sean, if you're not nervous, you're not ready.
No, you're right there, Jim, and Gareth's now probably settling a few of those nerves, because he's taking out a decent finish. As I say, that red on the left-hand side of the table, he's cleared the path for it into the bottom left-hand corner.
Nice control of the cue ball there. That is perfect. And it looks like coming to the table for the second chance. Good, well-paid dividends for Hibbott. And this 8 to open his account in the semifinal. Great start. Needed 2 bites of the cherry, but that doesn't matter. 1-0. Hibbott over Twist. Frame number 2. Jason Twist with the break. He had the first real chance in the opener. And by virtue of that ball going down, he's got the first real chance here in frame 2 as well.
I think it looks like he'd be probably taking reds here. Certainly, they're the more inviting of the 2 sets. Just one that's slightly awkward in the middle of the table, just between a couple of yellows, but
red ball's in play.
Yeah, and as I suggested, he was always going to take reds here.
50 seconds.
I just didn't foresee that mess. This is not the Jason Twist we've come to know and respect over the years. A little out of sorts, early days. We hearken back to his quarterfinal match against Carl Morris. Well, he took the first frame in that match. So he doesn't want to dig himself too big of a hole against Gareth Hibbott here, because Hibbott is one of those players, very dangerous. Even though our television viewers may not be too familiar with him, the players are.
Yeah, we talked earlier on that Gareth had a long amateur career before he joined the IPA Tour, and within 2 years had turned professional. And he's climbed those professional ranks now, and he's climbed the tour rankings And anybody who's inside the top 16, and say Gareth ranked 15, anybody who's in that top 16 is a very, very accomplished player. Well, Gareth's just weighing up here whether he's actually left himself on one of these balls. I'm not sure he has.
So important, though, for Gareth. He knows he's come into this as an underdog. You know, and to get out of the gate early here and put Jason under some pressure.
You could see that yellow into that corner pocket. It's a run into the other yellows.
Took out a real gutsy finish in the last frame against Lee Kendall. He was given plenty of opportunities in that match, and he'll be the first to admit it. And only time will tell whether he gets as many in this one.
Jason's certainly been very kind in these opening frames. He's given him a couple of chances already. As you say, as he's proved in that quarter-final, if he's given chances, he will take them.
Great shot. Watch the white, though, tracking towards the middle. Superb effort there.
I think it's just about perfect, because all he's got to do is just drop this yellow in to leave the yellow into the opposite corner pocket.
We want a bit of angle, though, just a little bit of angle to be able to drop onto the black next. Well, mind you, even being straight affords him the chance to screw back, so that's not bad either. Now this is just the sort of start that Gareth Hibbott wanted. He won the opening frame with his break, secures the second with his break. 2-0 to Gareth Hibbott. Hibbott with the break and all the momentum. 5-1, he leads Jason Twist. Frame number 7.
Yellow and red
Ball of each color deposited off the break.
Red ball's in play.
I doubt very much that Jason Twist expected Gareth Hibbott to come out with guns blazing quite like this.
Well, there's probably very few people in the crowd other than the Hibbott supporters expected this. Because at the moment, Gareth is destroying Jason Twist.
And this is just the type of onslaught that Jason Twist is used to administering, not receiving.
Yeah, without a doubt. Before this game started, there were 2 players left in the competition who could reach uncharted waters by taking their 3rd championship. But at the moment, the challenger Jason Twist looks like being ended by the man from Southport.
Every chance, yet again. The storyline continues on for Hibbott. The crowd like it.
Yeah, he played a nice little shot there because he's just split those 2 reds up because they were slightly awkward. So when he's played that shot, just nudged them, retain the position on this red into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. Just come a little bit short on where he wanted to be, I think, there.
He just looks so well prepared, Sean, and chance favors the prepared man.
Very interesting with him living fairly local. He might have had the opportunity to have gone home, you know, rather than stayed in the hotel. Perhaps gone home, spent a bit of time home, just relaxed a little bit more rather than just sort of sitting around the hotel room or wandering, going for a walk up the town or something like that. And he's got that. A few home comforts might have just settled him.
Well, nothing that a 6-1 scoreline won't settle to. Into the center pocket that has invited this 8 already a couple times in this match. And the same pocket once again looking after Gareth Hibbott. 6-1 over Jason Twist. Frame number 8, 6-1 to Hibbott.
Real power break there from Jason Twist, and just look at the split there.
And this is not the sort of start that Jason Twist was looking for. Few could have expected Hibbott to fire the bombs at Twist that he has.
I think potentially Reds of the ball here will be looking at taking.
Well, I say few could have expected. Well, maybe Chris Melling did. He was one of the victims that succumbed to Gareth Hibbott in the earlier stages. 4-1 he was ahead of Hibbott at one stage. And Gareth Hibbott stuck to it and shut Chris Melling out. Chris Melling, a 2-time champion here.
I think talking to Chris afterwards, I think we've already mentioned that he said from 4-1 he hardly had a shot. He say Gareth just parked him in his chair.
Oh, Hibbott feasting on former champs. Looking strong and getting stronger with every visit. He knows there's still a lot of work to be done. He knows that he hasn't heard the last of Jason Twist yet either.
Not sure he really wanted to contact that yellow. I mean, he could have left himself a lot higher up the table for that shot. This shot would have been, he'd have been a lot closer to this red if he had done.
He's going to have to roll this one fairly slow. Wants to bump the 8 towards the other corner. No, it's all happening here for him. It's all happening. The master plan is in force. And the score is looking like an onslaught. A one-sided scoreline in favor of Gareth Hibbott, 7-1.
Frame 10, Jason Twist to break, trailing by 7 frames to 2.
Is a shock result on the cards here in Blackpool. 2-time champion Jason Twist is in serious trouble. 7-2 to Gareth Hibbott. Frame number 10. And thank goodness that cue ball was contacted. It was headed straight towards that corner.
Yeah, it could have been the worst possible start there for Jason Twist. That cue ball had disappeared.
And for one of the few times in this match, a very scrappy looking table. Another look at the break. That cue ball was tracking towards that corner, and thankfully for Jason Twist, that red came in to collide with it.
50 seconds. Red ball's in play.
Just got 2 slightly awkward reds there at the top of the table. He's going to have to do a little bit of development work with. He may look at the red that's over the right-hand middle pocket. So he might get an angle to develop those 2 reds.
And I think he'd be well advised to go after them sooner rather than later. Having a few more reds on the table just affords him some outlets, should he not drop onto one of those 2. And Jason Twist upright in his chair as he watches, so He's hoping for a chance. He needs a little bit of help.
50
A
seconds.
7-2 deficit, 5 adrift in the race to 10. Well, that was the red I thought he was going to use to try and open up those two, Sean.
Yeah. I think he did actually have an angle there as well. On that previous shot, he could have taken the red into the bottom right-hand corner pocket and stunned across into, you know, towards those reds. And hopefully, it doesn't need a lot to open him up. You know, just a flick off one, and hopefully for Gareth Hibbott, he'd open them both into that top right-hand corner pocket. Here we go. As I say, he didn't want an awful lot of contact. But just wonder if he's left him as a plant now.
Well, they're not quite set, it doesn't appear, but he can still see the one open red. He can slot that into the corner pocket. He could definitely bump those two reds and lay the one right over that corner, the top one in our picture as we look. This is a tricky red that he's looking at here.
50 seconds.
He is playing some kind of pool, Gareth Hibbott. And you know, he's left that cue ball in a position where he can go after this plant now.
Yeah, because one thing Gareth Hibbott hadn't got to do in this match now, he hasn't got to start going a little bit gung-ho. You know, seeing the finishing line and thinking, well, you know, I can take some chances. Certainly taking no chance there. It's a brilliant shot there from Gareth.
Jason Twist is probably shaking his head how those two could have aligned themselves to offer a plant. But you know something? Everything this man does is in a positive vein right now, and he's making his own chances. For 8-2. Just settling himself, mounting that concentration. And delivers the cue unerringly. 8-2 confirmed. Gareth Hibbott is on song. Frame number 12. Jason Twist accepts the white from the referee and settles in. Needs a good split here. And nothing down.
Open table.
And Jason Twist, a look of resignation on his face. It just isn't happening today, and he doesn't have a lot of time left.
I think Jason will look back at this match and say, well, I didn't really do a lot wrong. Gave one or two chances that were punished.
Red ball's in play.
He's not had the greatest of luck on the break shot.
It started early for him, though, Sean. If you remember the first frame, he had 2 visits and didn't secure the win. And it just seemed to go all downhill from there. But 8-3, a very one-sided scoreline, and in my opinion, a fair one, given the standard of play from both of them. And this is a real chance again for Gareth. In his mind, he's already weighed up how he wants to remove these reds, the sequence. Still got to deliver that cue. And with each ball, you know the nerves start to play more of a major role as he gets closer to that finish line.
Just finished a little bit short on pace there. He wanted to finish quite straight on that. You could have just run through for the red that's near the black into the top left-hand corner pocket as we're looking.
Yeah, he's still got a few options here, though, Sean. A couple ways to play this. And just overhit that. He'd like to have been dead straight on this. I think he could have just feathered the cue ball through to leave himself the gap between the yellow and black, the one that he's looking at right now. But
yeah, I think he can just stun this red in And he's pointed where he wants to leave the cue ball here, Jim. It's quite a small gap. Oh, he hasn't.
Is he not hard enough?
And that's a foul. Nothing's contacted a rail or been potted.
Well, mark that one down. That could be the turning point in this one. Jason needed something like that. And the first real sign of nerves, of edginess, exposed from Gareth Hibbott.
Yeah, because this is the point where these nerves could start to kick in now. You say just 2 frames away from a place in the World Final at this year's Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships.
Not ideal. But he's still got the 2 visits.
I just wondered if he was trying to get in behind one of those 2 yellows, then take it in the opposite middle pocket. And then the other one would be freed up into the bottom left corner pocket as we were looking there.
Yeah, I think if Jason can't finish here and win this frame, he might as well mail it in.
50 seconds.
Oh, that was a useful little shot. Played the in off.
Yeah, he was just a little bit concerned about that cue ball then. It was tracking after the yellow. Just initially on his first set, he wondered if he'd hit it too hard.
Has he traveled just a bit too far, or can he still get through to this yellow? Steady as she goes. You know, do you just get the feeling, Sean, that this match is a long ways from over?
Yeah, I think you're right, Jim.
And the 8 disappears. 8-4. Frame 12 goes to the 2-time champion. But it'll be Gareth Hibbott to break in frame 13. Frame number 13. Hibbott wanting 2 more for a place in the final and to join another Gareth. Nothing down.
Open table.
And I wonder if this match is done in about face.
Well, we talked in the quarter-final about, Gareth Hibbott's quarter-final about, he was the comeback king. He'd been down in his last 32 and his last 16 match and won 7 frames on the spin and 6 frames on the spin against opponents. He's the man who's been in front. He's the one with the big lead. Here's Jason Twist about to become the comeback king in this game.
Yellow ball's in play.
And the yellows on the left-hand side of the table at the bottom as we look. Really in the open. He's going to have to play a 3-ball plant now. And I expect him to get this.
Yeah, to be fair, that third yellow is that close to the pocket, Jim. Any sort of contact on it really should send it in.
Still another plant on offer here. The 2 at the far end. Looks like he's going to be leaving to the end. And that's just going to mean that position to the 8, the cue ball is going to have to travel a little.
Not just that, Jim, but that's not a straightforward plan. He's certainly, well, he can't be playing the plant now. He's looking at maybe drawing this back and then flick the yellow in and send the cue ball around the angles for that black. And he's missed.
Red ball's
He
in
can't
play.
believe that one stayed on the table. I mean, he's still in complete control, but, you know, it's not doing his confidence any good bringing his opponent back to the table regardless of the situation. He should have finished, and he should have kept Gareth in his chair.
As you say, some work to do here for Gareth Hibbott in this frame.
50 seconds.
Oh, and he's missed. And you would you'd have to say that now this frame's Jason Twist. Well, she's going to have to flick this. He's almost certainly going to contact that red. Which would probably try and send the cue ball back the other way then.
Going to take a little bit of negotiating. And he does have to be careful here.
50 seconds.
I just wonder if he played it with a lot of left-hand side where he could flick it and then the cue ball would, you know, come back to the left of that red nearest to us.
Oh, it's definitely going to come back on the left side. He has to play it that way, but the 30-second warning has already been shouted. Pretty good effort there. It was not easy. And this for 8-5. He's on the comeback trail. The two-time champion, Jason Twist. He's won the last 3 frames. Still 8-5 to Gareth Hibbott. It's an 8-6 lead, bringing Hibbott back to the table. He's lost the last 4. The red down.
Just taking a little bit off
Red
that.
ball potted.
And potted a red.
And the yellows look pretty good. I would have to think that whichever he selects, he's got a red to the right center too. But of the two, unless there's a plant, the 2 reds offer a plant to the bottom left as we look.
Probably do, Jim. It's a risky shot, and the problem is he's got them 2 reds on the right-hand side.
Yellow ball's
Yeah,
not
I
good.
think that dictates his choice right there, Sean.
50 seconds.
And we've heard the referee say that he's nominated yellows.
Yellow ball's in play.
And everything right now in a potable position as far as the yellows go. So Hibbott has to just get his head down and regather himself. He's been knocked off stride a bit in this one.
Yeah, he just needs to keep those emotions in check here. Just think that he was on the practice table back home.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, he's only playing in the World semi-final, Jim.
Pretty good shot. Feathered that into the center and held position on the yellow in the middle of the table. And it looks like the yellow next to the red passes into the bottom left corner.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does, because I think he'd have looked at developing that out earlier or doing something about that, but he's confident it does go.
Fifty seconds.
Just think he might want to come a little bit further there, Jim, on this next yellow.
Well, I guarantee you he did.
Probably another 2 or 3 inches. He'll be able to just knock it top left. Taking his time. Go. Gareth Hibbott steadied himself.
It's not great. He's hampered queuing, and he has to get below that red to leave the yellow on.
Yeah, I think he can just cue to the left of that red, Jim. Sorry. But, you see that well.
Well, he's looking at the space between the reds. That's fraught with danger.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got to try and play below that red.
Certainly, and then he's going to have to, negotiate his shot on the black.
50 seconds.
And he's got to play this with a little bit of bottom, contact that cue ball as much as he can, and drop below that red. He's just come over to have a look, just to confirm in his mind where he has to get that white to. And yeah, I don't think he's come far enough. That's why I didn't think it was all that inviting.
I think he can
Just
just get through to this, Jim.
It just didn't look like it was that easy, Sean. I think he can hit this. I don't think he can make it. I think if he could have made it, he would have shot it by now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think he's just composed. Yeah, I think he's jacking the cue up. He's just putting a little bit there. We look.
He had to try and masse around that red, and I think what you're seeing right now is Gareth Hibbott showing us what nerves mean in the semifinals of a world event. And they're being exposed. Never mind a
Jason's
world
looking
event.
at the clock because it's getting near to 30 seconds, so he doesn't want to be down on his shot when the timekeeper calls 30.
Sean, I was about to say, never mind a world event, the world event. The Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championship's just the biggest event on the pool playing calendar, period.
Yeah, there's hundreds of players set out to try and win this title. Various qualifying events around the world. And we've now reached the stage where one finalist is in place and another one will soon be decided. But will it be the veteran from Ilfracombe or the local man, Gareth Hibbott?
You just felt when Gareth was 8-2 in front, you just felt that it was just too big of a lead to overhaul, and you couldn't see him starting to stumble the way that he has.
No, because one thing about Jason Twist, he'd never give up. Jason, and he's proved that. But like you say, just the way Gareth was playing so well.
Well, he's missed the red, but he's not left the yellow on. Still,
Total snooker.
can't really build any confidence on that.
He's just looking there where he wants to come off the cushion, and he could even pot this yellow with that cushion. It's going to have to be a very thin clip.
Yeah, I can't see him pocketing the yellow from there.
No, we've seen that now from the overhead camera. He's going to have to do something special. I don't think he can just roll onto it.
30 seconds.
Well, we've just heard the 30-second call. Gareth just having a look at across the table as well. He's glanced up at the clock. Yeah, he would have had to contact that so thin. Take the long red and get the cue ball back towards the middle of the table.
Well, not too difficult here from Jason Twist in normal circumstances. But I say, these aren't normal circumstances. You wouldn't feel that if he gave Gareth another chance, that Gareth would give up that chance. And I think he's left the cue ball in no man's land here. Oh, I think he might just be okay there. Just run on another inch or so. It would have been, I say, in no man's land. But I think he can take the red bottom middle as we look.
Yeah, but right now, this pool table, those balls are starting to look like basketball size and Mouse's ear holes as pockets to Gareth Hibbott. Oh, that'll do nicely.
So Jason just willing that cue ball on.
And 8-7. It continues on. Is it going to be a nightmare for Gareth Hibbott? Twist just one frame adrift.
And welcome back to Blackpool, and more action from this second men's semi-final in the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships. Keith Brewer, who would have thought that Jason Twist, 2-time champion, would be struggling so much early on?
Yeah, it's a surprising scoreline, that's for sure. Jason has missed a few balls that we never normally see him miss, to be fair, but Gareth has played excellent, really. It's the best I've seen him play on the big table. The
big question is, can Gareth keep that going?
Yeah, that's right. You know, you can't relax for a minute with someone like Jason. He's a world-class player. He's got to carry on. He still needs a few more frames to get it over the line.
Let's have your prediction. I didn't ask you at the top of the show. Let's ask you now.
You like to put me on the spot, don't
I
you?
do.
But I think it's easy now to say that I fancy Gareth maybe to win this match. At the start, I probably would have said Jason, to be fair, but now I'll go for Gareth.
OK, Keith, thanks very much indeed for that. Let's get back to the action right now.
Frame 16, Jason Twist to break, trailing by 8 frames to 7.
Frame number 16, 8-7. He's won 5 in a row, Twist. And do you get the sense that everything is turned around, even though Twist is still not enjoying the best of running on the break?
No, you just look where he's finished here. He's finished behind those 2 reds, but he's potted a yellow. So somehow he's got to try and find a red here. Or just play a safety shot.
Yeah, just eyeing it up again.
50 seconds.
He knows that he has seized the initiative in this one, and he doesn't want to relinquish it.
Red ball's nominated.
So that's what he's tried to do, is park that cue ball back on the top rail. Again, left nothing easy for Gareth Hibbott here. You're going to see now how confident Gareth Hibbott is now feeling.
Still an open table, though.
Just wonder, is he going to play that red at the top right-hand side of the table as we look there and come back over to where he is with the cue ball? And that's exactly what he's done, but he's left it short.
Open table.
And he's left a red on for Jason Twist here. And there's just one slightly awkward red. The bottom left-hand side of the table there, it's blocked out by the yellows. Everything else is in the open.
Yeah,
this
really.
is yet another chance for Jason Twist. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I was going to say it really would have been difficult for us to expect Gareth Hibbott to have maintained the standard that he set out the first half of this match. But I truly didn't expect him to start stumbling as badly as he has.
No, I just fear for him a little bit here, because you say he's
50 seconds.
struggled badly in the last 5 frames of this game, and you just wonder whether you're actually going to see him win another frame.
Well, and for me, Sean, in fairness, I don't think that Jason has found another gear. I just think that Gareth has dropped down a couple. And there's proof of it right there.
Open table.
He's won 5 in a row, and he's playing at about 50% speed.
Yeah, I think the tornado was toned down to something just a mere zephyr.
Foul.
Yeah, it had to be a foul. I was going to say there's no way that cue ball could have gone through that red like that. And Gareth actually called a foul on himself.
Open table.
With that white so close to the object ball, for that cue ball to have followed through like that, it just defies the laws of physics. And he awarded the foul himself. Fair dues, Gareth Hibbott.
Yellow ball's in play.
And now you're going to see 8-8 in the race to 10. Yellow bottom right.
Still doesn't look comfortable at the table, does he, Jason Twist? He just got up a little bit there and just checking himself. He's just, you know, I think if he does get through this match, he's going to be mighty relieved knowing that he's not played particularly well.
All about survival, Sean. It never says how, just who. And I guarantee you, whichever player gets through to the final to oppose Gareth Potts will be focusing on that final and that final alone. And Jason Twist has just erased an 8-2 deficit. And effectively now, it is a 2 out of 3 between these two English stars. 8-8.
Frame 17. Gareth Hibbott to break.
And frame number 17. A score deadlock between these two. Hibbott and Twist. Two stories of how they've arrived there. And Gareth Hibbott, well, right now he's got about as much enthusiasm as a man who's been told he's got to have a bath with his mother-in-law.
Well, we look at this table. I think Jason Twist, we're looking at taking the yellows here. Just one slightly awkward run on the right-hand side of the table.
50 seconds.
Yeah, no prizes. Twist has won the last 6 in a row. Hibbott, the unwilling beneficiary of that onslaught.
Again, Jason's not sure about this at all. He's decided to go reds. I'm very, very surprised. If you look at the two reds on the left-hand side, tucked together.
Just stretching, he's got to be careful. I mean, you want to be able to maintain a nice fluid action. But given the scoreline 8-8 and all the experience that Jason Twist possesses in this particular event, can you really see a way through for Gareth Hibbott now?
Not really, Jim, no. I think, personally, I think there's only one winner of this match now. I think it's unfortunate. So if Gareth could have just carried that momentum on for a couple of more frames, we'd have now been in that world final against Gareth Potts. But as it is, I say I only see one winner of this game now.
I have to completely concur. I think this match is now Jason Twist to win or lose.
It's like he's just been a little bit unlucky there with that. He's developed those two reds. He's developed one out. The other one's still tucked up on the yellow.
This is far from what Jason Twist would have liked to have seen. It looks like he's playing the red and cannoning into the yellow to play the yellow into the two reds.
Well,
so
this
it's
is
about a quarter ball hit,
stuff.
Quarter ball hit on the red, and playing the yellow into the two reds. What about that shot?
Ball. He nearly lost that cue ball there in that corner pocket.
Oh, he did lose it. He's just lucky it stayed on the playing surface. If you thought the last shot was tough, how about this one?
Yeah, and just as we were tipping him to take this match.
It never gets easy.
50 seconds.
Right now, both players starting to feel like they're ice skating uphill.
Just wonder if he's playing a double here, because that will give him the position. If it comes off, he's not made it now.
Yellow ball's in play.
A chance for Gareth Hibbott to stop the bleeding.
As they say, he needs to seize the moment here and put that frame on the board that he's been desperately looking for the last 6 frames.
$50 seconds.
And still a little uncertain with which to try and start what he's hoping is a frame-winning visit.
The problem he's got is still that yellow that's been there right from the start of the frame, that's just below the right-hand middle pocket. Doesn't go into that middle pocket, so...
You can certainly drop onto that yellow. Off the one nearest the bottom right corner. One he's looking at there.
That's a tough shot. Like you say, he's left himself the chance now to get on that ball, but that is a very, very tricky shot up the rail. Because I think he's that close to the cushion, he could just flick the knuckle on the far side of the middle pocket as he went past.
He tried to dislodge that red, Sean. He tried to move it to open the pocket, free the pocket for the yellow. So the problem remains. Quick glance at the shot clock.
50 seconds.
And there's the 30-second announcement.
He's got to be looking at dislodging that yellow this time.
Well, he was willing that cue ball to slow down.
To be honest, you see there he had the angle. I don't know why he didn't play that a lot harder. Because he's almost certainly he's going to leave himself a chance on the yellow and the other yellow if he didn't finish on that one. So,
well, if he's looking to play this right down the cushion into the top corner pocket, bottom as we look from our overhead camera, I'll tell you what, he's drinking his own bathwater.
50 seconds.
What a shot this would be. Oh, what a shot! What a fantastic shot from Gareth Hibbott. Sir, I take it all back. A masterful stroke. For me, the shot of the match to this stage. Tremendous effort.
yeah, wonderful shot. And is that the shot that's going to put him into that world final?
Well, it's definitely the shot that puts him on the precipice of getting there. The 8 disappears, and listen to the crowd. It took a long time for it to come, and finally he stops the rot. 9-8 to Gareth Hibbott.
Frame 18, Jason Twist the break, trailing by 9 frames to 8.
You want drama? will deliver. 9-8, Gareth Hibbott. Two-time world champion Jason Twist to stay alive.
He's made a ball. Red into the bottom middle and red into the top middle there. So it just disappearing into that middle pocket.
And no time like the present, Jason. If you're ever going to find some form,
Yellow ball's nominated.
your time has arrived.
Yeah, he's taking yellows here. There's just one slightly awkward one, just below and to the left of the black. It may actually go into the top left-hand corner pocket as we look once that other yellow's been removed.
Yellow ball's in play.
A place in the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championship Final awaits the winner of this one. The first to 10. Gareth Potts already secured his place. Booked it with a 10-9 victory over Adam Davis in our first semifinal. And Sean, this has 10-9 written all over it too.
Well, I was just thinking that, Jim, and looking at the scores, that the last two quarterfinals were both went all the way, 9-8. Jason Twist saw off Carl Morris, and Gareth Hibbott defeated Lee Kendall. Our first semi-final was a 10-9 victory, as you say, for Gareth Potts. And this now has all the makings of a final frame decider.
Well, even should he clear here, the remaining 3 yellows and black, the last frame is out of his hands. It'll be Hibbott to break. You have to fancy the tornado to get out here and now. And you know, when Jason starts to get like this, I mean, the eyes get wide, everything speeds up, and this is when he's at his best. Oh, that looked like that turned.
It just seemed to turn a little bit, Jim.
That looked like that turned right at the very end. You'd expect it to drop in the other way with the nap.
I think he was slightly out on the position when he just tried to drop it in dead weight to hold for the other yellow.
One more look. But that looked in. It looked like it just turned up to the left at the very end, but my word.
Well, just as we were predicting a final frame decider, Gareth Hibbott now has this opportunity to book his place in that final. His position. And that ball that's on the top left-hand cushion. We've got the angle here just to run round, take the red into the same bottom right corner pocket, and then come off the side rail and get up for that red. I think he needs to be fairly close to it so that he doesn't have to hit it too hard to get position on the black. Well, he's opted to go for that this time. No surprise, I thought he might have just dropped round there, Jim.
I'm telling you, Sean, 10-9. I'm not changing my initial prediction here. I still see Jason Twist through in this frame. And Gareth with a lot to do. Even knocking in this red, a lot to do.
Yeah, we saw in the previous frame. He's knocked that ball up the right-hand side rail from just below the middle pocket.
50 seconds.
Fantastic effort. He needs another one here.
Two yellows and the 8. And I think Hibbott will go back to his chair and start thinking about the break and the decider. this for 9-9. 9-9 it is. Once again, it's going to go down to one frame for a place in the final. Gareth Hibbott and Jason Twist, 9 apiece. You got the break. Who do you like, Sean?
Well, I think it's Jason Twist for me. I said it a couple of frames ago.
19th and final frame, Gareth Hibbott to break. 9 frames all.
We had the customary handshake as always. Gentleman and professional to a fault. Frame 19. Nothing down.
He's played the cut break there.
Table.
He's actually at the second ball down on the break shot there. Just trying to keep control, and that's why the cue ball's finished in this bottom part of the table here. It came down here and just got bumped and stopped.
Now, which one of these two can hold themselves together? And try and maintain that steady pace. All those countless hours of practice. This is what it's for. When you're under pressure, you want to be able to deliver that cue, even though you know that everything inside is just tingling.
Red ball's in play.
It's not a bad shot from Jason. I think what he's done is just freed up that yellow, that red that he's closest to now. I think it was just slightly hampered by that yellow. He's freed that up. It will go now into probably 2 or 3 pockets. But this is all about who has the calmest set of nerves now. Jason Twist, say, all the experience of being out there, world finals, world semi-finals.
And I think that is the difference, Sean. I mean, he trailed 8-2, remember. And from that point, he had to win the match 9-1. Well, guess what? He's on the verge of doing it. And that won't help him. He's just bumped that 8 into a little trickier position next to that yellow.
I can only think because he's played that red, the other red doesn't pass into the bottom left-hand corner pocket, the nearest one of those reds.
Seconds.
Taking plenty of time, and why not? The most important frame he's played to this point in the event. Well, the miss. There's the miss.
Yellow ball's in play.
You really felt it was only a matter of time. He just wasn't getting through it as easy as he would have liked. But by the same token, can you possibly see Gareth Hibbott clearing up from here?
Well, the only one real problem he's got is that ball at the bottom of the screen there. I mean, he actually potted a ball from a similar position. I think in frame 16 it was.
50 seconds.
The one that won him the frame.
Well, the yellow next to the black certainly doesn't look too tricky. Does it, Sean?
Well, the thing is, he's got the option there to be able to develop that with the other yellows that are there. You see, he's tried that. Now, what's he done here? He's knocked Jason's red in.
2 visits.
Disaster. And that might well make the trek back to Southport feel like a journey to China.
And Jason's just looking, does that red pass into the bottom left corner pocket?
Seconds.
Oh, the 30-second call right in the middle of his backswing. Let me take you back to frame 1. Twist came to the table with 2 visits at hand, failed to secure the frame. Will it finish that way?
Second visit.
Well, that's not helped Jason Twist at all there.
And right away, the second visit has to be employed. Much sooner than Twist would have liked. Boy, if you're Gareth Potts and you've been in attendance watching this semifinal, you got to be smacking your lips.
There he is, doing exactly that.
50 seconds.
Can Jason now take this opportunity? A lot of work to do here.
One good positional shot, though, Sean. If he can drop onto the red next to the black from this one, and he needs to drop onto it very nicely because the red near the yellows is available to the same pocket that he's playing this red.
$50 seconds.
He's having a look at playing this off the black and into the center. And he really can't legislate for where the black's going to be going here, and he has to be careful. And no guarantee of position. Now you better wait for that 30-second call again.
Exactly what I was thinking then, Jim. I think he's stood up and he's going to wait for that call before he plays. He's already had.
What a shot. What a shot from Jason Twist. He's very close to this red and just off straight. A look down at the floor. Refocus.
He knows that he can't stun this back, I'm sure, because of that middle pocket. He's looking. I just wonder if he's going to try and run this through.
And he's got to be so careful. Cueing that close to the object ball, you've got to guard against a double hit. This is far from easy. And it's long distance to win the match. It's there. Jason Twist, the clenched fist, he is through. Trailed 8-2 at one stage, came back to win the match 10-9, and Twist will oppose Gareth Potts in the final. A tremendous comeback, capitalized with a great black.
So, what an extraordinary comeback. 7-1 down, 8-2 down, and in the end, Jason Twist takes it 10-9. Keith Brewer, what did you make of that? What drama?
Yeah, absolutely. It just goes to show, doesn't it, that the match is never over until that final black's down. Full credit to Jason. He stuck in well. He peeled the frames back one by one. It was easy, really, to kind of throw the towel in a little bit, but he stuck in there, and it affected Gareth. He was the one starting missing the balls, and then Jason took full advantage.
Tell you what, we're now going to break off because we can now hear from the man himself. He's with Jim.
Jason, a monumental comeback, as noted, 8-2 down at one stage. How do you feel about that one?
It's quite amazing to come back from that result. I'm still in shock from it all. Obviously, I've gone out for the break at 7-2, and I think I've just got to keep my head together and just hope that things go wrong for Gareth, and you know, maybe you can make a comeback. So I know it's hard getting over the line. It's just like it's only a second match on TV, and I know it's very hard to get over the line. So I just had to build on all my experience and hope that eventually it would work out for me.
Well, really, it was about experience, Jason, and you were far from your best there, weren't you?
Yeah, I wasn't playing well at all. I was edgy, and I was looking where things could go wrong rather than playing positively and quick. the 30 seconds seemed to come really quick all the time, and yeah, I didn't play well.
Now it's the final. Gareth Potts and yourself, both two-time winners. Only one of you is going to hoist the trophy for the third time, Jason.
Yeah, I'd love it to be me. I mean, Gareth's playing the best pool over the last 18 months in the world, I believe. So I've really got a game on my hands there. So I just hope I can play well, give him a good game, and if I break well and the ball's split for me, who knows?
Jason Twist, what a cool man he is, and what a fantastic performance that was from him. Keith, talk about never say die.
Yep, absolutely. Seen it happen many times, David, as well. And full credit to Jason, it took some coming back that day, 8-2 to win 10-9. Very impressive. And
as Jim pointed out, history will be made because both these men have taken the title twice before. Yes. Somebody's now, for the first time ever, going to make it a three-timer. That's right. It's going to be very special for somebody tomorrow night. OK, let's just confirm then the results of the two semi-finals. There we are. Gareth Potts, dramatic victory for him over Adam Davis, 10-9. And the same scoreline, what another fabulous match it was, Jason Twist against Gareth Hibbott. And that means, of course, that the final now looks like this. Gareth Potts against Jason Twist. That's next here on Sky Sports. So don't, whatever you do, miss that. In the meantime, from all of us here at Blackpool, it's goodbye for now. We'll see you next time.